to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Seeing as the minister is not here, we will just have a moment of silence. And now if we could have the roll call, please.
Certainly. Councilpersons Bear,
Here.
Dupre, is not here yet. Ross,
Here.
Salcido,
Here.
Zor,
Here.
Tobin,
Here.
and Mayor Higgins.
Here. Just a few things on mayor's remarks this week. Of course, like to remind everybody, tomorrow is Election Day. This has been our first election where we've had early voting, and the clerk has been staying very busy. And just remind everybody, tomorrow is primary day. Come out and vote.
All voting will be at the band shell.
Like to remind everybody that tomorrow night at Lincoln Park High School, there will be the State of the City and State of Schools. It will start promptly at 7 p.m. I also like to remind everybody there will be a public hearing at the Lafayette School Thursday night, 7 p.m., and it will be about the public building department and our new ordinance officers and how the new department is working. Like to know everybody that I was at the DCC meeting today, looking into future jobs that are coming into Downriver, about future tech and how we can get a more hold on them, and just getting more information. Very interesting meeting. And lastly, I'd like to everybody know that earlier this week, I met with State Representative and the U.S. Senator looking for more grants for more money for Lincoln Park. And just wanted you to know that we are being active, and our State Rep and U.S. Senator Gary Peters are on our board helping us. And with that, I would like to move into our public hearing for the CDBG budget. No? Yeah? That's next?
Yeah.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Doreen Christian. I'm working in the CDBG Community Development Office. The purpose of the meeting is to take public comment and proposals on how the upcoming CDBG budget should be spent. The City of Lincoln Park is anticipating an allocation of $745,716 in community development block grant funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for use during the 2024-25 program year commencing July 1st, 2024. This is based on last year's allocation, as the new amounts have not been released as of this date. The cap for public serving projects is $111,857, which is 15% of the total budget. The city anticipates that as a result of the revolving loan fund, it will also have an additional sum of money funding known as program income available for allocation in the homeowner rehabilitation loan program and/or the housing stock improvement program. We are also reprogramming $100,000 of commercial rehab from 2 prior years so we can meet our timeliness requirements. As of this date, we are far behind meeting our timeliness, and it wasn't meant last year, so we have to do everything possible to meet our timeliness, which is May 1st. And I believe I have $644,000 that I still have to spend. The 5-year consolidated plan developed in 2021 will govern the allocation of these funds. Federal regulations require that all activities funded in whole or in part with CDBG funds meet one of the following objectives. 1, they must directly benefit residents with a low to moderate income. 2, prevent or eliminate a blight or a slum-producing type of influence. Or 3, address a community need, a particular urgency for which no other funds are available. A minimum of 70% of these funds must address objective number 1. CDBG-assisted activities must comply with regulations set forth through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Historically, the city has funded 4 basic categories or activities: public services, home improvement program, infrastructure improvements, and administration. Public service includes, but are not limited to, child care, health care, job training, recreation programs, education programs, public safety services, fair housing activities, and services for senior citizens, for homeless persons, drug abuse, counseling and treatment, energy conservation, counseling, and testing. Public service activities are limited to 15% of the total program funding. Home Improvement Program provides code-related improvements to existing homeowners. This program includes low-interest rate loans and deferred loans for income-qualified households. This program, in large part, addresses the community needs for housing. Infrastructure improvements vary on a yearly basis, but have included numerous roads, parks, and water and sewer projects. With us tonight, we have hopefully some agencies that have submitted proposals for funding. We will ask those present tonight to give a brief 5-minute synopsis of their proposal. But before we do, I want to go over the internal departmental request for funding. Under Public Services, the Police Department Community Policing Officer / Crime Awareness is requesting $62,000. We are combining community policing with crime awareness as they are both supported by the same officer. Under Infrastructure, we have blight remediation loans, $50,000. Fire Department, $58,250. Demolition of dangerous buildings, $150,000. Historical Museum, I put down roof, it's not the roof, it's masonry and the brickwork, $100,000. Parks and Recreation Community Center improvements, $325,000. City Streets and Utilities, $789,500. Residential rehabilitation will be funded by the revolving loan program. Housing stock improvement will be funded by revolving loan program. Additionally, under Public Service, the following nonprofits have requested funding: Blessed Hope Food Bank, $35,000. Downriver Community Development, LLC, $15,885. First Step Domestic Violence, $10,000. The Guidance Center, $10,000. The Senior Alliance, $3,045, and St. Michael's Blessing Box, $15,600. Is there anyone here from one of the nonprofits or somebody who would like to speak regarding the CDBG program?
If I may, before we do that, Doreen, there's something I would like to do. Out of respect, because you have done so much for our city, and you've retired, and now twice now have come back and helped us when you are, and we are in need. And with that, I would like you to please come forward so I can give you the key to the city.
Does it unlock the doors?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Enjoying your retirement.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my retirement.
It just doesn't stick.
No, my retirement does not stick.
Some of the doors do.
I don't know, I don't have a key. I wait till somebody else comes in and let me in.
Thank you, Doreen.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody who would like to speak? Is there any questions from Mayor and Council?
We have someone, young lady in the back.
Come on. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Erin Southward. I am from the Guidance Center. Thank you for this opportunity. Our request was for $10,000 for mental health services and substance use disorder services. The Guidance Center has a long history with the City of Lincoln Park, and we currently have 2 offices within the city. One is located on Outer Drive, and then we have an early learning center on Electric Street within Calvary Evangelical Lutheran Church. So I wanted to just go over really quickly, as of our last fiscal year and the last year of full year programmatic data that we have, and I included this briefly in our application. We serve 555 residents of Lincoln Park with mental health and substance use disorder services. The value of those services was a little over $2.2 million. And then, in addition, we did provide early Head Start and Head Start services to 190 students and their families through our Lincoln Park Head Start facility. Mayor Higgins actually volunteered at our early learning center during a literacy event, so very much appreciated that. We just really appreciated the longstanding commitment of the council financially and through the gift of your time. So we appreciate this opportunity to apply. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. So.
Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Since there's nobody else that's raising their hand, I just wanted to make one more mention that we are reprogramming 2 years of older money for commercial rehab. And if you guys decide to go ahead and do it with the Historical Museum repairs, due to the fact that it's older money, we can immediately jump on that and spend that money, and I can get that on my timeliness report. I'm doing my best to bring this up where it needs to be. I've drawn down the money through January. We've got some coming up, but I need to spend some more money quickly. So if you guys, when you do your reports to me on how you want the money spent, if you would put down how you want it, and also if there's more money, where you would like the extra money to go to. If there's less money, where you want it to come out of. And it's not a mistake, I'm not asking for any administration funding, because since we haven't had a director or anything, we've got quite a bit of money there. So we do not need the money there to actually not spend. So I did not ask for any. So if there's no other questions, I will bid you guys goodbye. You have a good meeting. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
With that, we will move on to the consent agenda. Resolved that the following items under the consent agenda be approved as presented to the mayor and council. Approval of the regular minutes for February 12, 2024. Approval for accounts and claims payable. Schedule for special meetings, closed session for the St. Management Appreciation, interviews? Applications, I'm sorry. Schedule a study session for the city council event policy. Support recipient agreement for the Downriver Christian Church. Solicit bids for the paint fire station exterior. Solicit bids for the detention office services for the police department.
I'll move.
Support.
Through the chair? Could we move, please, item D to action?
Yes. Okay, we call for the vote.
Okay. Councilpersons Tobin,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Zor,
Yes.
and Mayor Higgins.
Yes.
Okay.
Resolved that the Finance Department purchase and configure 7 laptop computers for the city council to use at council meetings and all city-related business. Be it further resolved that the council members shall bring their laptops to all meetings, and that furnishing hard copies of the agenda packets shall cease in order to offset the cost.
So move.
Support.
Hearing nothing, I'll call for...
Discussion, Your Honor? Yes. Lisa, do we have a total cost of these 7 laptops?
They were $550 each, and then the software, and the software is about $100, a little bit more than $100 per laptop per year.
Okay.
So,
Also, you only make hard copies to council only, right? No one else in the city hall gets the whole packet?
it's the
True?
clerk can speak to that.
Okay, so council gets the packets. We get them in our emails also.
Your emails.
Okay. That's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else have a question? With that, we will go for the vote.
Councilperson Zor,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
No.
and Mayor Higgins.
Yes. With that, we'll call up the Department of Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and citizens. One of the topics I have on the table here is Hennessy Engineers' proposal for design and bidding services for the 2024 DWSRF water projects. Background, Hennessy Engineering, HEI, submitted DWSRF project plan to Eagle on behalf of Lincoln Park. The project plan included replacement of water mains on 16 roadways and replacement of lead surfaces for our 5-year capital improvement plan. Eagle DWSRF plan for 2024 provided the City of Lincoln Park with 100% ARP grant funding, which means we will not have to pay that back. The city received $14,567,400 for water main replacement and $4,417,000 for lead services replacements project for a total of $18,985,000. HEI is planning to, proposal is providing engineering services, permits, specifications, project administration, staking, topographical survey, bidding for the 2024 DWSRF program for a total cost of $1,581,990. Financial impact, the total cost of the $1,581,990 is 100% funded under the 2024 DWSRF grant funding. Recommendation is to recommend that the mayor and council authorize Hennessy Engineering, Inc. to complete the design and bidding services specified under the 2024 DWSRF water project. And if I could, I'd like to read the resolution.
Sure.
Be it further resolved that mayor and council authorize Hennessy Engineers, Inc. to proceed with the City of Lincoln Park's 2024 DWSRF water project design and bidding services. Be it further resolved that the total cost of $1,581,990 is 100% funded under the 2024 DWSRF grant funding account number to be determined.
So moved.
Support.
I take it when somebody else wants it. Anybody have any questions? Then I will call for the vote.
Mayor Higgins,
Yes.
Councilperson Zor,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Tobin?
Yes.
For the mayor and council, Mr. Hennessy is present in the crowd. If you have any further questions for him, I'm sure he'd be happy to get up and answer your questions.
Any questions for Mr. Hennessy?
No?
If I could, Mayor, just interject quickly, this accompanies, this is approximately 19 million that we've secured under the water, and it accompanies the 15 million that we secured under the sanitary sewer system. I am going to take a few moments here, since I have everyone's attention, to reiterate our recommendation for the leak detection program within the city to curb our water loss through there. I think we outlined a good plan on where we could train some future staff within the city. We have the equipment to do that, and I think that program would particularly pay for itself, which would allow us to continue to do this improvement. But I will tell you, what you've approved tonight and what the Eagle has granted the city is the largest water main project that's been done in close to 40 years within the city. And if you look at the break map that over the past 12 years that we've outlined on all locations of all the breaks, those water mains are still holding up very well, candidly. And so I think we're going to continue to try to uncover as many grant dollars as we can for the community and really make a plug at this to tighten up the water distribution system. I'm here to answer any questions anyone has.
I just want to thank you for all your good work for us.
Oh, thank you. We're excited about it. Thank you.
Resolved that a public hearing be scheduled March 11th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the John L. Luisi Council Chambers for the purpose of discussing the 2025 Clean Water State Revolving Fund and Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Project Plan.
I'll move.
Support.
Call for the vote?
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Zohr?
Yes.
And Mayor Higgins?
Yes. And I think we have something from the consent agenda that we have to discuss.
This is the next
Is that in B? All right.
This was originally moved by Councilwoman Dupre, but she's not here.
She is not here. Okay. But we will go ahead and talk about it anyway. Resolved that the study session be scheduled on March 11th, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the John L. Luisi Council Chambers on the purpose of discussing the policy of city-sponsored events.
I'll move for discussion.
We have a mover and a
Oh,
discussion,
that's-
so...
Okay.
No, we didn't because she wasn't
Oh, well,
here.
Tracy's not here, that's right, so you can be the mover for the discussion.
Since the...
Support.
Oh,
We have support, Maureen already... All right, okay.
I have to support her move to discuss this.
No, she just took Tracy's spot so that we can put it on the floor.
Oh, she's at the other place.
Yeah.
Are you not wanting to support discussion on this?
I have nothing to support on the discussion on this. This is Tracy's. She asked me to support a closed session to discuss this. I don't want to discuss this on the floor.
You can't
And I'm not certain you can
discuss
have a
this in a
closed
closed
session.
session.
Then-
Well, I mean, I Stacy's motion to schedule this. I'm good with that. I'll stay with that.
Okay. All right, then we can have a discussion on having a closed session.
Can't have a closed session.
it's not a closed session. It's
Well,
a,
No,
well,
I'm-
study
A study
session.
session.
Just to set it up, I'm good with staying with what was
Okay.
called for.
All right, that's what we were going to do, and then,
Okay, so can I...
yes.
Okay, thank you. I believe the comment from Councilwoman Dupre was she wanted to have a discussion because of the Drag Queen Bingo event. I'm truly uncomfortable with moving forward with this resolution. It makes me uncomfortable because I think it's going to lead to a discussion of discriminating against a certain group of people. And I don't think that's government's place. Government should be inclusive. Government passes laws, anti-discrimination laws. Government's supposed to represent everybody. So I would be more comfortable if we just pulled the resolution.
Can I address?
Yes.
Tracy asked me to support just making this resolution, and this resolution absolutely has nothing to do with what you're talking about. This resolution has to do with addressing events in our city, not one-way political, discriminatory, or directed at one entity and department. This has to do with our Parks and Rec Department and what events they do, and letting us know they are doing them. That's all this has to do with, is how they address us and letting us know what they're doing. Nothing about what they're doing, who they're doing with, or how they're coming to their decision. It's about letting us know what they're doing ahead of time. That's what this discussion is about. Nothing to do about...
Oh, so now we're
drag queen
looking
being
to micromanage the Parks and Rec Department?
I'm not going to discuss this right now. This is Tracy's decision to call this. She asked for my support. I'm giving it to her. And I am not going to discuss this any further, but what you said and what you're thinking this is completely off base.
I know what she said, sitting right there.
But you're reading something into it, and you're wrong.
Okay, we're not going to go back and forth. We can go through the chair. We're not going to have that in,
Through the chair, she's reading it wrong, and it's not what Tracy is...
To the chair,
okay,
I support Lillian.
okay. I will,
Mayor, what does he support?
I support Lillian's comments, and I would also be very uncomfortable with that study session.
okay. I will say that I heard the suggestion. I went to the clerk's office and had a conversation with the clerk. We went through and looked at what the job is of the Parks and Recreation Commission, and it is their job to approve or disapprove whether special events. It is not special event, but having events. If it's a special event permit, then it comes before the council. So with that, is there anybody else want to add a discussion to this?
Just through the chair, I'm not really sure what Ms. Councilwoman Dupree was asking for. I hear a good debate from council. I'm not choosing sides on nothing, but the Park and Recreation stands alone, I believe, on events. They own the ownership of these events. In my opinion, I see nothing wrong with any of the events that they propose, so I'm not really sure what Councilwoman Dupree wants. So I'm just, no one's right or wrong, in my opinion, but let's just move forward, and the event is sold out. Obviously, I don't see no problem with it, so that's all I have to say.
Mayor, may I weigh in?
Okay, the city attorney's asked to speak.
Just so council doesn't step into quicksand instead of a swamp here, be cautious in attempting to either regulate or not regulate events. It's supposed to be open in terms, same thing with flying flags. It has to be an open, or you exclude everybody. And if you begin to exclude or sequester one party from having permission, or to open the door for one, then you open the door for all. So council should proceed cautiously. And this might be better served by having the Parks and Recreation Commission review policies and see if they make any further recommendations, come back to mayor and council. If you want to adopt a policy, you can discuss this all you want, but if it appears you're targeting one group or not targeting one group, that's where council steps into a mess. This is truly a no-win situation either way. Now, if there's some rampant objection over current events that are scheduled, you can ask to meet and address them in the future. But if council's not ready for a full-bore approach to a new policy to be promulgated by the Recreation Department, you've got a mover and a support. Absent a mover and a supporter, you don't need to vote, or you vote it up or you vote it down, but it's on the table right now. If there's a support or a mover that's withdrawn, then it's off the table, or you pass it through for a vote and see where council stands today, or you wait till the original maker returns. But I'd exercise caution in drafting your own policy saying who can and who can't have events, because then you get to the exclusionary attempt of your resolutions here.
I'll withdraw my...
Chair?
One
I just want
Eric was the only one who hasn't spoke, and you look like you wanted to.
I'm good.
Okay, I just want to
I
make
just want to
sure.
state, Councilwoman DeTrey and I have actually gone to Drag Queen Bingo, and we have actually gone to this Drag Queen Bingo. We have no objections to Drag Queen Bingo whatsoever. I just want to state that very clearly, that we have no objections at all.
Okay, but Lillian has taken away her movement.
Drawn
So,
hers.
says withdrawn her support, so we do not have something on the table.
Mayor, may I ask, just because I overspoke when she was withdrawing it, if you would make certain that that's what she intends to do, so we have it in the record. It sounded like
Yes.
she said that, but...
Thank you.
All right. So this will die for lack of anything. Now, with that, we'll move on to the city manager's
Before we
report.
do that, through the chair,
Yes.
I would like to make a miscellaneous resolution. Earlier this week, we all received an email, at least I believe we all did, through the president of the Junior Rails Association. And as we all know, the Junior Rails building burned down a few months ago from an criminal act, and they are trying to rebuild it. And they are having a little issue raising money to pay for the permits to rebuild. And it was brought to our attention through email of the hardship that they're going through. And I would like to make a resolution at this time that we waive the fee from the building department for them to get the permits to do the rebuilding, and their contractors can come in and apply for the permits.
Need support for this?
Yes, sir.
I support
Mayor,
Councilwoman.
if you're going to do that, sorry to keep jumping up.
We
Perhaps
appreciate
you
it.
take away my front seat for yours here. I would ask council, if that's your intention, it's unanimous to append it, that because it's a lease on municipally owned property, the municipality is responsible for the property, that you're making this exception because they're rebuilding a structure that was originally leased to them by the city government. So, Madam Clerk wrote that all down just before she goes to vote. That would be part of the resolution. You don't want to create another blanket exception for one group that someone else is going to ask for the next time there's a fire.
Good point.
Thank
Good
you.
catch.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
So our building department is not in-house, so we have to pay McKenna. So how do we offset that, is my question.
We would have to pay the bills. If we do this, the city will have to pay the bill.
Mayor, I would think the inspection alone, and Mr. Myers might still be here. Is he still here?
He's
The
still here.
inspections alone are not going to cripple anyone in terms of that. They can get donations. I think it's the building permit that's probably more expensive. Is that correct, Mr. Myers? And I'm going to sign for him in case you don't understand, okay?
The biggest expense will be a plan review and the building permit. And so not exorbitant at the position that the city's building department presently holds. If the city deemed that they wanted to give a leasee of municipal property the flexibility not to pay that permit, but that is up to you. Otherwise, we would follow protocol and still require them to pay the fee for administration, plan review of the new structural building design, as well as permits for building electrical and mechanical additions.
Could you give me a round guess at what the amount of money we're talking here?
Somewhere probably between $400 and $780. And the reason is because it's the building, the permit for administration is set, the permit fees for plan reviews are pretty much set, and then the cost of the construction is based on a certain entry fee and $10 for every 1,000 above that. And so I'm just taking an estimated guess of what they think it may cost to restructure this building.
To the chair.
Yes.
This was a insured building, correct?
I do not know that.
My understanding is it was an insured building, and it has insurance paying for it. And the contractor, when he bids on this job, does he not include the fees
He
for
should.
doing the job?
That is correct.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Through the chair, it seems to me that I thought the same thing, but why they would contact us asking us to do this, I'm assuming that it's not covered.
I think they're just trying to get its cost down as
Yes.
reasonable as possible.
Gary?
I had a couple of the board members from the junior rails working the early voting over the weekend, and in discussions with them, the cost to rebuild was going to be more than what their insurance will cover. And so the contractor that they found has agreed to do it for what the insurance company is going to pay them, but it would not include the permit fees that would be then charged by that, because he's already deducting money because the insurance wouldn't cover the cost to rebuild it, as it was adequately covered, but not the cost to rebuild it. So
Thank you for the
they
clarification.
are a little short in the funds on that, and I believe that's probably why they're asking you to waive those permit fees.
Is there any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay, then I will call for the vote.
Councilpersons Tobin?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ross? Yes. Zor?
Yes.
And Mayor Higgins.
I do want to make a statement before I vote, that the president of Junior Rails is my cousin Glenn Higgins, but I'm still voting yes. Okay, and now we will go to the city manager's report.
Thank you. I have just a few updates to provide you with. As you know, a while back, we went out for bidding for the planning services for the city, so we are in the review phase for that. The bids were opened, we received a couple bids, so we are going to be interviewing the firms and hopefully bringing a recommendation to council in the coming weeks. We are also reviewing the timeline for the animal shelter. As you know, we're getting pretty close, so we're trying to get a status update as to exactly what that is going to look like. We have to look at staffing issues because it is a bigger facility. We have to make sure that we have adequate staffing there at all times with taking in more animals. So we are working on that. And then the mayor tipped me off to State Rep Liberati's office. It appears there's some grant opportunities for the city, so I've been working with John Kazoo and Dennis Anderson. So we're putting together some recommendations to them. Looks like July, we're not guaranteed anything, but we are going to put in some much-needed capital improvement items into that, so hopefully we will get some good news out of that. So hopefully we have those requests into them by the end of the week. So that's what we're working on. If council has any questions for me, I don't have anything else.
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, Lisa, thank you for stepping in. The Sears project, the Browns Field, I heard there's an update. You want to enlighten the residents of Lincoln Park?
So I believe that is going to be coming to council at the next meeting. I haven't had a chance to get the most recent update from the assessor. I know there was some
movement?
movement there, it sounds like.
We'll leave it at that then, okay. That's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor, and Lisa.
With that, we'll move on to citizen communications. If there's anybody in the crowd who would like to speak to this body? Seeing none, well, here, young lady up front.
Hello, my name's Debbie White, and I'm just wondering, is there any update from the flooding? Any news on what's happening? The residents of Lincoln Park? I'm trying to put my house back together, and it's going to rain tonight. I want to make sure I don't have water coming up. What do we do? I've checked into having a backflow preventer put in my house, and this is not cheap. So it's going to cost me, but so far the city has not paid anything to help me. And I pay the taxes, I take care of what I need to take care of, and I'm still out. Even you're talking about waiving permits. I have to get a permit to have that backflow preventer put in. That's not cheap either. What is the city of Lincoln Park doing for the residents that were flooded?
Did you come to the office and fill out the form in the management's office?
I filed my form
Okay.
with pictures.
When we know more, we will let you know more. That is all I can tell you at this time.
Where does that leave me? I mean, like tonight, I'm worried whether or not I'm going to get water up through the sewer, because I don't know if the pump house is running.
I can tell you that the pump houses are working. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else like to talk to this body? With that, we will move on to the oral reports, and we'll start with the council president.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items. Really, today was a good example of council. You know, we may not agree all the time on issues. We may go back and forth, and that's what really, truly, in my opinion, makes a good council. You know, we're not all here to agree on issues. I disagree with the laptop. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to use a laptop. But council voted for it, so that's fine. I will make adjustments and get the agenda to me in another manner. So today was a good way of debate. It just shows you the passion of council. So that's all I wanted to say in that regard. Other than that, March 10th, we spring forward, move our clocks forward. And lastly, like the member of the audience mentioned, we are expecting some rain in the next couple of days, so let's just hope things are running well. So that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you all have enjoyed this nice warm weather. I know I have. It's been quite interesting for February. Not looking forward to the rain myself either. Remember, tomorrow we have the election. Please vote if you have not. State of the city in the schools tomorrow night at the high school. And with that, I will say good night and stay safe, everybody. That's all I have. Thank you.
William?
Thank you, Your Honor. If I could start out with keep the happenings handy, because there's a lot of good information in there. The Historical Society and newsletter is out. If you haven't had a chance to glance at that, you can find it at www.lphistorical.org. There's a lot of upcoming events for the museum and the Historical Society, with the big bash of the April 25th annual dinner. So please keep that in mind. April 25th, Mr. Bill Morrison will be the guest speaker. They haven't started selling tickets that I know of yet, so as soon as those are available, I will let you know. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Hi, just like the mayor mentioned in his original remarks, I would just like to remind everyone about the ordinance public forum at Lafayette Elementary School this Thursday from 6 to 8. I can definitely tell via Facebook feedback on the residents page that his ordinance officers are out there on a day-to-day basis. I can tell they are enforcing our ordinances at the street level, because people, of course, don't necessarily appreciate that. And I went to the last ordinance meeting. Mr. Myers gives a thorough presentation about the city's strategy, the planning, the reasoning behind it. If anyone has any question about any of our ordinances and why we do things, and we usually do things because of safety. We are concerned about people, property, health, and environment, and it is through our building department that helps us maintain those goals. So I am looking forward to that meeting on Thursday, and looking forward to seeing a few more residents at this one. And everyone have a safe time voting tomorrow. I would definitely like to give a shout out to our city clerk, who is navigating brand-new processes due to this early voting. You have all of our admiration on council for the enormous logistical just whatever it is that was just dropped on you, and we know you are doing a fantastic job as always.
Thank you.
And with that, good night.
Sure.
I'd like to say that the city assessor's been working diligently to bring everything up to speed. He does have the funding, the brownfield, so he'll be bringing that to the next meeting, just so you know. Lincoln Park High School girls bowling team just won the regional championships, and one of our bowlers, Brianna Peters, also won regional championship. The entire team and Brianna will be competing at states at the bowling team, and Brianna as an individual. The Lincoln Park High School theater production of Addams Family will be happening on March 15th and 16th. The Lincoln Park High School Education Foundation Spring Spectacular event will be held on the evening of April 24th at Arnaldo's. And with that, I say good night.
Thank you.
I wanted to say thank you to Hennessy Engineering and DPS for helping answer a lot of questions. Thank you.
Just remind everybody one more time, State of the City tomorrow night at the high school, open to the public, and public meeting for the building department Thursday, Lafayette School, 7 o'clock. And with that, I'll move for our adjourn.
So move.
Support.
And call.
Councilperson Salcido?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ross? Yes. Tobin?
Yes.
And Mayor Higgins?
Yes. Did Lisa talk to you about, okay. I thought I had done that before, then I realized today I really didn't go anywhere, so you're here. Lisa thought, I don't know what you think about town all the time. Yeah, I know, nobody ever.
I know, right? It's been forever.
Oh, I figured he snuck out to that other country. I know, you just.
I'm just that there were so few